love to serve God. At the same time, I have a passion to people, to help people, to encourage people, to teach people. I was working for an architectural firm in a junior position. So when God called me to serve Him, I just quit my job and choose to live, with very little means of income.
I started thinking about the church as a place of hope and a place of joy, and a place that is needed in our world. Church is a place, it's a community, and that so often, at least ideally, goes against a lot of how the world operates. And there was something about that was just deeply appealing to me, and somehow thinking or wondering and suspecting that maybe I might be able to contribute something towards that.
My call to ministry has been something that's always been there. I wouldn't say that there's a certain time that was an aha moment that stood out to me. I've just always felt that the ministry is where I should be. Even when I was young, I used to imagine that I was a minister and I would preach to my stuffed animals and line them all up on the stairs, and it's just felt right.
I am absolutely amazed that I get to be involved in people's spiritual lives, that I get to be involved in that process of walking with people as they question, as they look, as they kind of seek for God's face and God's voice. I've felt a call in my life for a very long time now. The earliest I can think of is probably when I was 12 years old. I was at a Christian camp wrestling with the story of the parable of the tenants, and I was kind of struck with, oh man, am I the one who buried his talent in the ground? And I remember as a 12-year-old going to my camp counselor, and he said, don't think that at all. You are a leader and you were wired for pastoral ministry. And over the last 15 years, I've had that same basic truth reiterated to me dozens of times.
I see the potential in what the church could be, along with what the church is, and putting those side by side, and having to check myself every once in a while to say, I'd really like to see the church go here, recognizing that the church is here, and how do we bridge that gap between where the church could be and where the church is today. Not saying that where the church is today is a bad place, but that it's continuously evolving and growing and being shaped by the movement of the Spirit, and how do we continue to encourage our congregations to see the potential that's within them.
I was a lawyer before this for a very short period of time. I knew by the time I reached my articling year after graduating from law school that was not a good fit for me, and that's when I applied for the Master's of Theological Studies program at Conrad Grable. The first couple of months of my studies at Grable were I never resonated with any kind of academics like that, and at that point, I had been in school for, that would be my 8th year, so I just soaked it up. I had emotional moments my first semester, discovering all of this theology, all of this thinking about Christianity that I never even realized existed.
My desire is to see God's glory taking place in people's lives. I enjoy seeing people's lives being transformed and seeing them grow into likeness of Christ. For my ministry is an offering I can give back to God for His everlasting love and mercy.
My great joy of being a pastor is bringing the gospel, the good news of salvation and God's love to our people. My relationship with God is very close, and the pastor just picked me and sent me to Bible training center. So when the pastor asked me, Sirisak, do you want to go to a Bible training center? I just say yes.
I think just the joy of seeing change take place. I'm part of a generation that's in a lot of ways really cynical and skeptical and doubts that change is possible. To see that in really concrete and tangible and powerful ways in a community is really, it brings a lot of joy. Yeah, I guess in one sense too, I came into it kicking and screaming, like a lot of pastors do, I suppose. I was scared of the thought of pastoral ministry. I didn't think I had the qualifications. In that sense, I guess the story is similar to Moses, where he received this really clear call, and his response was, I don't know how to do this, I can't do this, I'm slow of tongue. And God responds to say, if I'm going to call you to something, I'm going to give you what's necessary to do it.
I really have a passion for helping young people see their own potential and find where God wants them to be. That is just a beautiful thing to me, and it's so fulfilling when, you know, somebody, a young person, finds out where God has meant for them to be. And I really have a passion for seeing other people's potential.